Well, it's July. You know what that means. Christmas in July! Yay! A literal thing that I actually have no idea where the heck that even actually started. But it doesn't matter wherever it actually started. It's Christmas in July. What a special moment. A moment that basically people could watch Christmas movies in the summer. Yay! So, since it's Christmas in July, I thought it'd be actually cool to literally review a Christmas classic. Or a classic that many people actually think, but I actually don't think, but I can understand why it's considered a classic. And that movie, of course, is the 2009 adaptation of The Christmas Carol. What can I say about The Christmas Carol? It's literally one of my favorite stories ever. Like, one of my favorite stories, and one of my favorite adaptations of all time, you're going to be asking? Well, simple, the George C. Scott version. Seriously, this movie is literally one of my big favorite, one of the best basically adaptations ever, and the one I watched the most, and the one I watched basically every year with my dad. Even my dad loves that one. Like, it's amazing, it's awesome, it's chilling, because it's, creepy and all that, because it is a scary tale after all. So, yeah, it is flat out amazing, and I love it. But most basic people's favorite adaptation was the 2009 Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey. When this movie came out, it was a huge deal. I mean, is Disney doing another Christmas Carol? Who remembers that 1980s animated one with Scrooge McDuck and all that? And who remembers the Muppets Christmas Carol? Or, wait, when did the Disney actually own the rights for the Muppets? Well, I'm gonna look it up. Okay, never mind. I looked it up. It was 2004. Never mind. But technically now, since they own it, you could say that's basically their second time attempt. But still, I don't really think it counts because they didn't even bought it yet. So, yeah, it doesn't count. So, basically, 2009 was their second attempt to make a Christmas Carol. But unlike Scrooge McDuck, this is not basically a short. This time, it's a motion picture. And it's directed by the same guy that directed Back to the Future. And, of course, The Polar Express. Another supposed Christmas classic that I do not like. And to be honest, you could actually tell that it's directed by the guy that did, The Polar Express. Because simply, the animation. I do not like this one. I mean, as a kid, I loved this one back then. I mean, I was 8 years old when this movie came out. Like, I remember, I was so hyped with this movie when I saw the advertisements. I saw, basically people talking about it. I actually remember playing those awesome internet video games, they actually had on the Disney's website. Like, there's this one game I remember playing based on the scene in the movie where, where he basically uses that, lighter, I forgot what they're called, but it's those things you basically, those little light things and all that. And when he basically covered it, he starts flying up in the sky and all that. Like, yeah, it was a really fun internet game. It was a very fun internet game. It was awesome. And the website is amazing as well, that sadly does not exist anymore. And I'm pretty sure the games don't even exist anymore as well. So, pretty sucks. So, yeah, I used to love them. But now as an adult, not anymore. Yeah, I actually don't think the 2009 adaptation is literally, basically not one of the best adaptations ever. Now, why exactly? Well, I will give you problem number one. And that's simply Jim Carrey as Ebenezer Scrooge. Now, there is a lot of basically debates which is the best Scrooge ever. Because there was a lot of debates actually. But you know what? It's okay. It's just like Dracula. Which is the best Dracula? Which is the best, Frankenstein monster? Which is the best, James Bond? Or, which is the best, Jack Ryan? well, actually, I'm pretty sure many people's debates will always go to Harrison Ford, which I agree. But, yeah, it's debatable. It's debatable. It's okay that it's actually debatable, which is, the best Scrooge and all that. But, in my opinion, I think that the 2009 Scrooge, aka Jim Carrey's performance, is, I would say, the bottom of that list. Yeah, basically what I'm saying is, the 2009 Scrooge, Jim Carrey, I do not think that he was the right choice to play the character. I know, it sucks that I said that, but it's true. He is not a very good Ebenezer Scrooge, okay? Like I know he's been many serious roles actually. If you remember, there was The Man on the Moon. There was once those serious moments and Liar Liar and all that. But I just think his performance as Ebenezer Scrooge is just not really the best. Why? Because simple, it's just his characteristics and not just that his, voice and all that.
Humbug! Don't be cross, Uncle. What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? Merry Christmas. What's Christmas time to you but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older and not a penny richer. If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
And the sucky thing about it actually is, this movie has other cast members that would have actually played Ebenezer Scrooge. The two, an example, is Gary Oldman and Bob Hopkins. Whenever those two actors, one of those two actors should have basically been Ebenezer Scrooge. But of course, they picked Jim Carrey. Why? Because he's a big name in Hollywood. Yeah, he's a big name in Hollywood with so many movies and, basically, money and all that. So, of course, they picked him. Yeah, he's just not a very good Scrooge in my opinion. He's just not very great. But that doesn't mean that this movie is, not fully bad. Because this movie does actually have some positivity with it. I mean, of course, like I said, the other performers actually did a really good job. I mean, Gary Oldman as, Bob Cratchit, he actually did a really good job.
They've done you good to see how green a place it is. You'll see it often. And I promised him I would walk there every Sunday. Oh, my little child. My little child.
Robert, please don't be grieved. Please, Father.
I'm all right. I'm quite at peace.
And not only that, I also love Bob Hopkins as Fezziwig. Like, he was really fun in that movie. Like, he was really, really fun in that movie.
Yes, home, lads! No more work tonight! It's Christmas Eve! Hooray! Ebenezer, let's get cleared away. We want lots of space. Lots and lots of space!
So yeah, there actually are basically some positivities, besides, that. But also, there are also some positivities with some really clever moments. Like, for example, how the Ghost of Christmas Present actually travel, at least the beginning of the segment, because later they actually travel like normally, like, all the other adaptations. But in the beginning of it, they actually travel by basically making the house fly, and he uses the torch thing to like he's steering, kind of like a little flying device thing. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's actually really cool. And I remember as a kid, I saw that part over and over and over again because I just thought it was so cool. I was like, whoa, that is so cool.
Spirit, these poor people have no means to cook their food, and yet you seek to close the only places in which they can warm their meager meals every 7th day.
So yeah, there are some positivities with this movie. This movie actually, I could totally see how it actually is a classic. But this is where I'm going to be telling you about more of its flaws. AKA the flaw that I also really actually have basically sort of with the Polar Express. It tried way too much. But this time, I think tried way too much, even harder than the Polar Express. And that's simply this. Look, I kind of actually get it. The Christmas Carol is a scary tale. It's a totally spooky little, creepy tale. But why in the world does it have to have jump scares? I mean, seriously, why, out of all things, jump scares? And not just that, cheap jump scares. Like, for example, this one that I remember, it always gets me every single time I watched it when I was a kid. Ah, God, like that was so bad. Like, seriously, like you could see it coming, but oh my God, like it was such a cheap jump scare. And I don't understand why in the world that I kept getting scared every single time when I watched it as a kid. Like, what the actual heck? All the other adaptations I actually definitely remember seeing, especially my favorite version, the 1984 with George C. Scott, actually has many actually creepy moments, and not to say some really unsettling, kind of moments. But I will definitely give one credit actually with this actually. The Christmas Carol from 2009 actually has one basically, unsettling thing about it. And it's actually a character that wasn't even meant to be unsettling. And that's simply the Ghost of Christmas Past. Why does it look like this? Like, oh my goodness. I mean, as a kid, I actually did not mind it. But now looking back, it looks horrifying. Like the face, and not just that creepy voice he actually has.
Would you so soon put out with your worldly hands the light? No.
Like, what the actual heck were they thinking? And what's even worse, that's Jim Carrey playing the character.
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
He basically looks like as Christmas Past looks freaky as heck. I mean, present looks fine, but past? Like, keep that thing away with me. I mean, seriously, could you just imagine basically literally seeing, that character selling basically like candy to kids? Hi, I am the ghost of Christmas Past. You want a candy? You want a candy bar? I mean, all the other passes basically looking like the same and all that, and not that the same spirit. But this just gives that weird, unsettling vibe, and it just creeps me out every single time I see that thing. Also, why in the world they actually made this movie intense? Like, why in the world they literally thought that was actually a good idea? Like, just imagine the director is like, this actually looks like a very good story, but do you know what this needs? Some intense action. Yeah, let's do it, baby. Let's get some intense action for the kids. Yeah! Yeah, I'm sorry. The story, the original tale, and all the other adaptations were not need to be intense at all. Like, they were not intense. It's just a simple walk in the park, all right? Like, seriously, Ghost of Christmas Past shows Scrooge's past. Ghost of Christmas Present shows us the present. Future. End of story. He's good. Simple as that. That is basically what it all the other ones basically need to be. But this one? No. Oh no. We need some intense action. We need basically him being chased by an evil ghost horse or whatever that thing is. And making Scrooge George and all that, making him getting hit by a bunch of icicles. Like, oh, like it needs some crazy action, some intensity, you know, like yeah, it would be so fun. But it isn't fun. Because to be honest, this actually feels like I'm like watching one of those like rides, like, you know, those rides like in Universal, like the Transformer ride and that crappy Fast and Furious ride, or that King Kong ride and all that. That's basically what this literally feels like. Literally feels just like that exactly. Like, why? It doesn't need to be like this. What it needed to be is just a simple walk in the park thing like all the other adaptations. But no. They literally flat out basically made it like this. And it just does not work at all. Like, at all. Now, look. If you guys love the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol, that's fine, alright? I totally get it why it's actually a classic. I mean, one, I would say it's way better, it's a little better actually than the Polar Express. And, you know, and it actually, I mean, it has Jim Carrey, and it's something that no other adaptation I could think of on the top of my head has ever did before in the Christmas Carol. So, yeah, I could totally see what they were going for. But to me, I just don't basically really like this one. It's just not really my cup of tea that I literally, you know, watch every single year. Alright? So, I'm just gonna, like I said, I just do not like the Christmas Carol from 2009. And I just think it's just, you know, a movie that I'm just not a really huge fan of. And I don't really think it's considered as the best adaptation of the Christmas Carol. It's not the best. To me, I always will pick the 1984 with George C. Scott as the best one, in my opinion. Alright? But I actually do actually wonder what you guys actually think of the Christmas Carol. Do you guys like it? Do you guys hate it? Post that in the comments below. Anyway guys, till next time, this is Colton Munson, signing out.